Tried to make this one shorter, but seeing that we're on a roll here, I did write down some notes. And here's page one. Avera mental health facility in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Took 16 plus hours to get my medication in me. Scanned. They scan your wristband and when you get your meds. So I'm going to have the data. I've requested it, my information to be sent to me. And in there, it's going to be my intake hour and the hour I got my meds, actually down to the minute. And I think it took 16 plus hours for them to get medication in me. And that was probably due to me pushing them at hour 12, letting them know that they had X amount of hours left and the VA was going to be shut down for Monday. Intake. Immediately find out if they're a vet. I said I was. I get all my meds from the VA. That was at intake. Prior to me even going up to the floor. First 20 minutes in the building. Okay? Intake. Contacts the VA emergency room and calls and sends over a request. They get that data of Gino's medications and faxes it over within the hour. And then the facility will have all of my stuff within 60 minutes of intake, and I can have all my medication for nighttime in an hour or so. Now, if that wasn't the case, then let's say morning meds are around 8, 8:30, 9 a.m. If I came in prior to midnight, then that would give you 7, 8 hours to get my meds figured out with the VA. All of that can happen overnight with the emergency room at the VA. There are staff members available that are just there at the computers, up front. They can process this. I guarantee you they can process it. For the amount of veterans that you intake on a daily basis, this is something that's doable and it's fixable immediately. +16 hours for my medication. I had sweats. I was sweating all day long. Number 2, you messed up on my meds. I did discuss that and we will cover that. Number 3, 0 quality one-on-one time as far as therapy was concerned with anybody. Anybody that came to me or grabbed a friend of mine and said, hey, we all know the process when you're there and you go off somewhere and you talk somewhat private, but not really. And they ask you a bunch of questions and then they bail after 10 minutes. You know, sometimes less, sometimes more, but sometimes it's under 10-minute visit. And when they go over the findings, such as one gentleman did at that facility, he said he's not employed through Avera, but he's a doctor that has an office there, blah, 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 third-party stuff, so he can make the big bucks. He comes back and says, you're the 98th percentile. This means out of 100 people in general public, you're more screwed up than 97%. You're 98 out of 100. I'm like, okay, I get that. I'm tracking. No problems there. But then there was just a bunch of, there were like 8 other categories. Kind of like, you know, going into, I don't know what I'm saying. It'd be nice to know what categories and how messed up I am. But all of my categories were off the chart. Isn't that fun to know? Number 4, staff. Some simply need to go back into public service. Yeah, I did cover that in the previous, when I did write down More than one staff member apologizes for the actions of a few. That tells me that I am correct in my thinking and feelings there. And it's just not necessary. I'm 49, but you got 18-year-old kids going into this place, scared shitless. Nobody's helping them. That's the problem. Problem is, you go in at night and they say day shift will acclimate you, and then they wake you up and say, hey, you came in overnight? Yeah, well, you got a little bag for toothbrush and everything? Yeah, okay. That's orientation. That was it. That's all I got. And then they release you into the general room. I grabbed the chairs, stared at a wall for over 6.7 is the number I came up with, almost 6.75 hours. I stared at color orange, old school orange. And it was 10 feet away, and I just never let go of it. Not one staff member walked up to me, hey, are you okay? I know it's your first day. Nothing. Nothing. You got a lot of staff members. Nothing. I don't get it. And it was same for the kids that were showing up. If I didn't walk up to them, say hi, hey, we're not scary, come on, grab a chair. Before you guys took all of our chairs away, I will get to that. It's one of my numbers. I promise you it's one of my numbers. I'm only at 7 minutes. No coverage of 9/11. No 9/11 coverage on the television. No coverage of the Queen passing away. Nothing. I had to find out on the backside. That's world events taking place. But on my day that I was leaving, that Sunday, we got a new dude intake. Looked like kind of looked like an idiot. I don't know the nicest way to say it, but authoritative, abusive type. And somehow he got the football game turned on his very first day. He got the football game turned on. All of a sudden, guys start showing up. Another guy starts showing up. Another guy starts showing up. And it's the fucking wife beaters club. It just, that is one of the most abusive days. The Super Bowl, you know, we all know the facts of domestic abuse. And these people that can't let go of their past, needing to watch TV and get all amped up, right? Take it out on their loved ones. But that television's in that center, watching that game, but nothing about the Queen I knew since I was a kid. Nothing about 9/11. You had on my floor two veterans. You can't even put a flag on our door saying veteran. Nothing. But we better watch our sacred football. On Friday night, prior to my release, the staff decided to reduce the chairs in the common area because we were all gathering and making each other laugh and have fun and cry and kind of did our own counseling. So now our common area went down to 2 chairs. So when you go to grab one, it looks like one, or a bunch of chairs had none. It didn't stop us. We continued. But that was a childish antic to take away our rights as humans to be able to speak in general counsel in a common area amongst our peers. That is a human right you are taking away. And somebody somewhere is going to realize this. We had no access to the newspaper, and we have a right to access to that stuff. Nothing. So I'm going to get off of this. It's at 10 minutes. But yeah, your system's broken. your system's broken, and you got too many people, too many freaking degrees walking around thinking that they're solving problems for people and they're not doing nothing. All they're doing is putting them in categories. If you send a loved one to Avera mental health and you have killer insurance, your child, whether something really messed up with them or not, it could just be depression, right? Um, and college kids, I saw some college kids in there. It's that as long as you got killer insurance, you can go away to a long-term facility, and you can say, "No, I just want to go home." But it could just be a discussion between your parents and this facility and insurance, and your life's determined. I said, I'm not doing that. I go, this place was bad enough. Why would I want to go to a long-term place that could be just as bad, if not more shittier? I go, this is not rehabilitation. This is cattle prodding, and you guys are acting like you're an educational center for people, and you're not. I think votes should be taken. I would like to take a look at the list of complaints of exit interviews. Do you know I never got an exit interview? I wonder why. Maybe it's because I was too vocal inside on all that was going wrong, that no exit interview. So you get this instead, because some people you'll never silence. And you can put me in that category. You'll never silence me. Your place is not a rehabilitation place whatsoever. It's a joke. It has nothing to do with mental health and helping. There's no help going on there. You're not doing anything for anybody. You're taking the money. You'll take the check. You got a lot of people on the payroll in there. You got bills to pay. But it's just a meat processing center. That's it. Don't go there expecting miracles. It can just create more problems.